Hey guys, Erin here, back with another moon update for you. We are having a very powerful full moon total lunar eclipse coming up this Wednesday, May 26th at 4:13 a.m. Pacific time. Now, this occurs at 5 degrees Sagittarius. Now, for those of you who are new to my videos, let me just briefly explain what a full moon really represents. It is the peak of a growth cycle. And that growth cycle is specified by the sign in which the moon is transiting through. Okay, so again, this is in the sign of Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius is really about wisdom. It's about faith. It's also about optimism and adventure. Sagittarius is such a wonderful energy ruled by Jupiter. It's also a mutable energy, meaning it's adaptable. Okay, so how have you grown? How have we grown as a collective through these last 6 months with all those things that have to do with that Sagittarius energy, the wisdom, the faith, the optimism? It's such an important time to allow that optimism to grow. Now, this, again, we experience this as a collective, but it's unique for everybody depending on what house in your natal chart, or in other words, what area of your life this Sagittarius energy manifests. Okay, so this could be manifesting in your first house, your house of self, you've experienced this growth and wisdom within yourself, or maybe this has to do with your seventh house, your house of relationships. Maybe you've had growth and wisdom with your partner, or maybe it's in your house of home. Maybe you've embraced new wisdom or faith that has to do with your home life. There's several different areas of your life that this could be manifesting in, and it's extremely beneficial to know which, again, area of your life what house in your natal chart this does manifest for you. And I do offer 10-minute moon readings for $22 to let you know which area of your life and what other kind of aspects this full moon could be bringing for you. And you can reach me at erinwageastrology.com or erinwageastrology@gmail.com. And I will leave links to those in the description of this video. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys and show you what is up for this full moon total lunar eclipse. Okay, so this right here, we put Earth right here. I work with geocentric Western astrology. And these right here, these are all the celestial bodies that will be surrounding us for, well, always and forever. But this is where they will be on that May 26th full moon energy. Okay, so we put Earth right here. Sun's right here, moon is right here. Okay, so here's the moon at 5 degrees Sagittarius. We can see that the sun is opposite that at 5 degrees Gemini. That's what happens when we have a full moon. The sun and moon are at exact opposite ends of the zodiac. Okay, now when we have a lunar eclipse, what happens is this guy right here, this is Rahu, or the north node, and this right here is Ketu, or otherwise known as the south node. And when we have a lunar eclipse, these guys get close to the sun and the moon. Okay, that's what actually creates the eclipse energy. Now, what I'll explain to you what this means. This south node right here, or Ketu, is the dragon's tail. This right here is the dragon's head. So what we're looking at here is the dragon, okay? When we have an eclipse, we're dealing with dragon energy, okay? And that dragon energy can have a strong tendency to kind of suck us into old habits or addictions or even behaviors that we wouldn't normally take on. It's literally crucially important to stay focused on that Sagittarius optimism, stay focused on your growth, stay focused on your goals. That is crucially important, and also to keep yourself protected. And I'll cover that in just towards the end of this video. Right here, this is something else I also feel like I should bring up. This right here is Jupiter at 1 degrees Pisces, which, by the way, is really opening up more spiritual energies, okay? We've had Neptune going through Pisces, which is really bringing a lot of people a spiritual awakening. Well, Jupiter just entered Pisces, and that's going to bring even more of that spiritual awakening to a lot of people. But what we see here is Jupiter is making this connection. It's actually called a square. Jupiter is making a connection with the sun and the moon. Now, Jupiter actually rules the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter expands energies. It makes it more abundant. Okay. So that really is expanding the energy of this full moon. It's amplifying it. But these squares can also actually create blockages. It's really important to pay very close attention if you're experiencing any sort of a blockage in embracing your growth. Again, stay focused on the optimism. Stay focused on your adventure through, this lifetime, through, embracing any sort of real new perspective of truth. Okay. A lot of that is going on right now. And this is a very good time to embrace that. As long as you're staying focused on that optimism and staying protected, you're going to be protected from that dragon. Now, let me go ahead and tell you how I keep myself protected. For those of you who have never seen my videos, I am very much a big fan of gemstones, minerals. And what I like to do for my moon rituals is find stones that resonate well with the sign in which it takes place. Okay. So for Sagittarius, the dedicated zodiacal birthstone for Sagittarius is turquoise. I put on my turquoise rings and my turquoise pendant right here for you guys. Turquoise is a wonderful stone because it is grounding and it is fairly protective. But what it also can do is help you kind of like foresee what's ahead. Okay. Again, the Sagittarius energy is very adventurous. It's very beneficial to be able to foresee, what it is in your future. And that turquoise energy can really it can bring you to a resonance of being able to foresee things. Now, also, I keep talking about being protected. One of my favorite stones that is also a stone that resonates very specifically with the Sagittarius energy is obsidian. Okay, this is a huge piece of obsidian, actually came from Glass Mountain here in California. You don't need a piece this big, but I just had to share because it's one of my favorite pieces here. This is a very protective stone. And again, it resonates very specifically well with the Sagittarius energy. And obsidian is actually quite affordable as well. This is a piece of rainbow obsidian. There's gold sheen obsidian. That's another one that very specifically resonates well with the Sagittarius energy, which they all do, but black obsidian and gold sheen very specifically work well with that. Staying focused on optimism while also keeping you protected. Another thing that this obsidian can help do is keep one focused on their goals instead of getting sidetracked. That's another really beneficial thing for all the mutable energies that we're experiencing right now. That Sagittarius energy. We've got other stuff going on that can kind of keep us from staying focused on one track. There's mutable energies, meaning adaptable, kind of bouncing around a little bit. We've got a lot of that going on right now. So it's a good idea to stay on track. This is another one that's really good for that. This is called black kyanite. There's also blue kyanite, which is gorgeous and stunning and also very protective. But black kyanite is very specifically good for staying focused on keeping you on the track that you want to be going in. So I will definitely be using or keeping this black kyanite around me through this transit. Now, let's see here. What should I go with next? Another one that I'm going to bring up is tiger's iron. Now, tiger's iron, this is not tiger's eye. They look very similar. Tiger's iron is very specifically another very, very protective stone. And one of the reasons that this is, one on my top 10 list is because if you're one of those people like myself, where you're very susceptible to the emotions of others, full moons in and of themselves, and then we add in the eclipse, what can happen is we can tend to feel the emotions of others even more so. And, not everybody's hopping around in the greatest jolly mood ever. And so it's a really good idea to keep ourselves protected from absorbing those, negative energies from other people's suffering. Tiger's iron is excellent for that. So I will definitely be keeping this piece of tiger's iron around me for this full moon total lunar eclipse. Now, a couple of stones to avoid for really any full moon. I mean, there's time and a place for this. This right here is moonstone. Okay. And moonstone actually comes in several different shades, but this is a typical piece of moonstone. That what this does, it actually can make those feelings stronger when you're somebody who is feeling the emotions of others, or at least are easily influenced by the emotions of others or the behaviors of others. moonstone can actually amplify that. So this is, you would think, oh, if you're having a moon ritual, let's use moonstone. Not in your best interest, usually anyway. Now, another one is clear crystal quartz. This is my clear crystal quartz angel. I love clear crystal quartz. I use it pretty much for any ritual, but not without being protected. And I've said this in several of my videos. Clear crystal quartz is wonderful for amplifying the energies or for making sure that your prayers are heard. And it doesn't have to be an angel, by the way, any clear crystal quartz. I've got quite a few pieces hanging around here, but that's for making sure your prayers are heard or to amplify energies. If you're going to some sort of a festival or something where the energy is just all good vibes, clear crystal quartz is going to amplify that. But when we're experiencing energies that might be even considered slightly dangerous, that eclipse energy can be considered slightly dangerous, it's a good idea to be more protected than to amplify the energies surrounding you. Let's see here. There's something else I wanted to mention here. I think, oh, you know what? I wanted to mention also, I am somebody who likes to harvest my own spring water. I have a garden. I like to harvest my own herbs and grow my own herbs, that sort of thing. During really any eclipse, it's not a good idea. You want to stay away from spring water, especially harvesting and drinking spring water on days surrounding an eclipse. And to be safe, really to be totally in the clear, I try to leave 6 days in between, but obviously that doesn't always work out for me. But just definitely, you don't want to be harvesting water and drinking it, or really even you might want to avoid going into any sort of pool of water or spring or anything like that when we're having really any kind of an eclipse. Generally, for my moon rituals, I will go outside and fully expose myself to the heavenly energies, but not during an eclipse. I will definitely be trying to keep more indoors and keep myself protected and stay focused on my goals. So I think I will leave it at that. Until next time, namaste to all of you.